I've been making content for a year now on freeCodeCamp. I just realized it the other day looking at some of my first articles. It's this week last year where I started writing for them. Now, I've been writing before that for various other things. I've been podcasting before that. I had an interest in video before I started my YouTube channel, really in effort this year. But what I want to do today is share a few insights that I have from my personal journey for you in hopes that it helps you either start or reinforces the work that you're currently doing. Number one, starting is the most important thing you can possibly do. I hope that everyone is continuing to spread this as the number one most important thing. Just start. Start dirty, start scrappy, start ugly. Don't worry about it, just start. I look back at the first article that I wrote for freeCodeCamp last June, and it's not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's something that I aspire to do better than. And really, the article I wrote last week falls into the same camp. I want to do better work than that. But both of those articles are part of my journey of having just started, and then now I'm continuing to hone my craft and get better over time. But in the beginning, don't worry about how it's going to sound. I hate to break it to you, not many people are really going to pay attention to it in the beginning. I don't think people really cared that I was making a commitment to write consistently on freeCodeCamp when I started last year. Nor do they really care that I made a commitment this year to grow a YouTube channel. But as time goes on, the audience will grow as you stay consistent in everything. And that brings me to point number two, consistency. Consistency breeds quality. So once you have started, continue. You've got to be consistent. I've got to be consistent. I had to find a cadence that worked for me. This was difficult to do towards the end of last year. I kind of was like, what am I doing? Am I going to keep writing? I'm kind of trying to do web development, but I'm not really all in with it. I was comparing myself to others a lot. I took the holiday season and then the first of the year to kind of revamp what it is that I think my purpose is and what it is that I can really contribute to others. Because I want to be helpful to people. That's why I'm creating content like this online, is I really genuinely care about people learning things that are useful to them and empowering them to create, if they so choose, their own personal brand. So consistency breeds quality. I have definitely gotten better over time as I have found a cadence. For me, that's weekly, that I really try to put out a video and an article every week, if not more. I'm patting myself on the back when I can do a little bit more than that, if I've got the margin, if I've got the time to spend on it. I've got a family, I've got a job that's full-time. This is not what I do on a full-time basis, so I don't have a team working with me. It's what is going to work for you. So consistency will breed quality over time, though. I've gotten better, and I hope that I continue to, because I see all sorts of areas that I can continue to improve on. Number three, clarity trumps all. This is hard for me. This is my struggle. It's hard for me to drill into a point and really go clear and deep enough to where it's meaningful, but stay clear on the points I'm trying to make, the things I'm trying to teach, what I'm trying to impart on others with either my writing and or my video work. It's easy for me to go off into rabbit holes, chase shiny, pretty things this way and that, and just be spread too thin. Where I know the content creators, the educators that I admire the most are those that can take concrete ideas, be they simple or complex, and really drill them down to their essence and communicate it clearly. Sometimes that doesn't mean short. Sometimes that can be a long, clear explanation, but really clearly articulate what it is that they are teaching. This is something that I hope through the rest of this year and then beyond that I can continue to grow in. Because this, more than anything, in our society, in this day and age, yada, 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 copy, paste your cliche here, attention spans are low. They can be. Now, does that mean long-form content is just out the window? No. I watch long-form content. I'm sure that you do too, but building a personal brand and creating content from scratch and really establishing myself in this area as a trusted authority, I've got to be really concise and clear, especially in the beginning. Clarity does trump all. Number four, Punch fear in the face. So this is kind of I'm stealing this from Sean Cannell. If you're familiar with Think Media, they do some great YouTube work over there, just educational about growing your channel, building a brand, all this stuff. And he is like a bottomless well of one-liner insights. And punch fear in the face is one of his. I love it. Thank you, Sean. And it's so true. It kind of goes back to my first point of just get started. When I was starting, and you may be in the same boat, it's going to be scary to press play, to just be okay with being afraid, but doing it anyway. Somebody told me that courage is not the absence of fear. It is doing something while afraid and walking through it anyway, trudging forward, walking with purpose through that fear. So that's what I've been trying to do. It gets easier, I will tell you. Over time, it does get easier. Same with starting. As I've started different ventures, with each subsequent thing that I have done with my writing, with my video work, with my podcasting, it's always easier the next thing that I start because I've got a track record now. And it may only be one article is your track record, but you can look back and say, you know what? I did this last week. I'm going to punch fear in the face again. I'm not going to worry about the fact that there are 4,000 other articles about VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP and Google Sheets and Excel. You know what? Because I have a unique voice and somebody encouraged me when I was starting over at freeCodeCamp, and he told me, you know, you have a unique voice. There are people out there who do not know as much as you, who have not read all those articles or seen those other videos, or who have and they just didn't resonate with them and need to hear you explain it in your own way. So I've really taken that on as my own. There were some articles I wrote early on at freeCodeCamp that I was like, why are we writing another article on this? Is this pointless? And no, it's not. I was the same way. There was countless resources out there to learn from, and I picked and chose people and places that I enjoyed and really benefited from and could resonate with the instructors that were teaching in those particular ways. So punch fear in the face. Don't worry about what others think. Just do it and you will get better over time because that consistency will breed the quality that you're looking for. Number 5, and this will be my last one for this short video. There's a ton more insight that I could draw just from my own experience. And I plan on doing an analytics video soon. Let me know in the comments if you would appreciate that. I'm at like 13, closing in on 1,400 subscribers right now. So super small little audience over on YouTube, but I'm planning on doing an analytics like behind the scenes. Here's what I've done this year. Here's what's worked, what hasn't. If that's useful, you think that might be useful or insightful, whatever, if you'd like to see that, let me know. Click like and let me know in the comments. But number 5 and the last point for today is find a community. Okay, here's another cliche, find a community, blah, blah. I am definitely not a poster boy for going and spending all my time in online communities, in Discords and Facebook groups and all this junk. I really kind of turns me off, to be honest. But what I've found is that there was a community over at freeCodeCamp that I was able to resonate with. I am not incredibly active like in dialogues on their forums and everything, but I found a platform where I could publish my work. I could maintain and establish and maintain a relationship with some of the people that are working at freeCodeCamp. And here I have a platform that's not just going into the ether when I post on eamoncottrell.com, but I've got a platform that people around the world actually read to start from. And so this was real important for me. I started last year on Hashnode also. So I built up a Hashnode blog and connected that with my domain. And same thing there, there's a community of primarily web developers over on Hashnode to where you can start circulating your blog in front of eyeballs that are interested in the topics that you're putting out there. I pivoted over to freeCodeCamp just because I personally have more of an attachment to that resource because I've used them in the past as I've learned how to do some web development, and I've really appreciated Quincy and what he has done there and the principles that he has done it from. So for me, I was personally like, oh, this would be awesome if I could write for this platform that I love so much and have received from, and now I'm able to give back to it. So it's been great for me because here's a platform where I can have some exposure as I'm growing my brand. Currently what I'm doing, I'm making videos and writing articles at the same time each week. I usually write the article after I do the video, and then I'll embed it in the articles. I can see in my analytics on YouTube, I get a lot of my audience is coming from external, and specifically LinkedIn and freeCodeCamp are the two big places. So I've found a couple that work for me, and I've just stuck with them. I hope this has helped encourage you to get started on the idea you've been sitting on, or to continue with the path that you have begun to go down. Again, we've got starting is most important. So if you haven't started, just do it. If you have, keep going, because the next one, consistency breeds quality. Stay consistent. Find a cadence that works for you. Number 3, clarity trumps everything. If you can do anything really well, try to be as crystal clear as possible. Clarity is going to be your best friend. Number 4, punch fear in the face. It goes along with number 1, just get started. But even after you've started, it is still going to be disheartening from time to time. You're not going to be in the zone. You're not going to want to do it. Go ahead and punch fear in the face. Do it anyway. You're going to thank yourself tomorrow for what you did well today. And I've never regretted just putting my stuff out there. It needs to be polished, needs to be edited to the extent that I'm capable of, but I've never regretted just doing things afraid and then putting it out there. I've always been like, man, I am so glad I did that. And then number 5, find a community that resonates with you, not just going out here alone. You're going to learn from others. People are going to want to help you. People have wanted to help me. I've been so overjoyed. That has been my story too, as I've heard it from others. People really do want to help. If you're sincerely trying to learn and better yourself in your craft, there's people ahead of you that are going to look back and they're going to, if you ask for it and you do it appropriately, they're going to want to lead the way and help you along. So, you're awesome. Don't forget it. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Helps this channel grow, helps me keep doing what I'm trying to do here and punching fear in the face every week myself. And I really appreciate you watching to the end, and hope you have a great one. Bye.